Hello, I think it's about 7 o'clock. This is going to be something totally new for me, and we'll see how it goes. I have to get myself on my okay. I made this card, and I need to turn my sound off.
I made this card.
Just a second. This is going to be technical difficulties going here. All right, now, I cased someone. I was looking for something a little different, and I was searching the internet and came across the demonstrator is Donna Gray, is her name. First of all, they say let's get some housekeeping out of the way. My hostess code for the month of September is W7EJQ4DB, and if you would like to place an order, you may go to lindellscardscape.stampinup.net and place your order. I would appreciate that. We have also a promotion going on until the end of the month for $99. You can sign up and be on my team. You can become a demonstrator. And the promotion is always good to become a demonstrator if you like to purchase products and you like to get a discount on what you're doing. But this month until September 30th, for your $99 plus tax, you get to choose $125 worth of product from either of the catalogs, the annual catalog or the mini catalog. And in addition to that, you also get a get and go. You get 2 more stamp sets free added to that, what you choose for $125 in addition to that. Plus you get enough product to make, I believe, 16 cards. There's 8 in 2 different colors, and all the product is included there. Plus there's a package of gemstones, of rhinestones. You will, of course, need to get some of your beginning product in your kit before you, when you get this, you'll need some adhesive. You'll need if you don't have some snips and some good scissors, you'll need that, and your there again, your adhesives, and maybe some inks. It would be good to have a few different colors of the inks to start out. And just if you go onto my website and if you send me a message, I would be happy to send you a catalog, and a hard copy catalog, both the annual catalog and the mini catalog. Also this month is, it went into effect September 11th, and it's always on the 11th of every month that you can order the new paper pumpkin for the next month. It is a monthly subscription. You can subscribe for 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, or you can subscribe for a year, or you can, for however long you want to. This one coming up that you have until October 10th to subscribe is Joy to the World, and it's Get Ready to Spread Some Love with the new Joy to the World paper pumpkin kit. It's going to include supplies for 8 elegant holiday cards, and it's perfect for connecting. And it gives you, there you go, it gives you 8 cards. You're already set. And where can you buy 8 cards for $22? And plus, you get to make them yourself and show your friends your craftiness. Now, I'm going to do this card that I'm going to do now is, this is the card. It's sort of simple, but not exactly. I mean, it's a little, it's almost a tone on tone. It's kind of non-traditional, but it has the baubles and that you need. We're going to use 2 stamp sets. We're going to use Ornamental envelopes, which is on page 40 of the mini catalog. And that is right here. And we're going to use the dies that go with that. We're going to cut the baubles out so you can see that will go with it. The dies will cut the baubles out, the balls, the Christmas balls. We're going to use Wrapped in Christmas for a sentiment. Peace on Earth on the outside of the card, and inside, friends and family are the truest gifts of Christmas. So that is how that is. And this stamp set is on page 11 of the mini catalog, and it is a really nice stamp set. This is was a suite that's heartwarming hugs, and it has this designer series paper. It has a bundle with dies and another stamp set, but we're using the Wrapped in Christmas. It also has a ribbon. It has embossing folders. It has mini coffee carriers and mini coffee cups that you can get, plus a red linen trim and little star ornaments. So if you wanted to purchase that suite, you could get that whole suite for $123.25, and there's your $125 worth of free product if you wanted to go that way. And I also used Wonder of the Season, the gold twine, and that is in this bundle called Wonder of the Season. There was a combo pack of the green and the gold twine. So that's the twine. It's really pretty, and it's really easy to work with. It works really nicely, and it doesn't ravel. It's a nice addition to Stampin' Up. I'll be using adhesives, which are on page of the annual catalog. There's a whole page of adhesives, and I will be using the Stamp and Seal Plus, which is a new product. I will be using mono adhesive, liquid glue, and I also will be using dimensionals, Stampin' Dimensionals. Make sure I get everything I need here. And large ones and small ones. I need a new package of that. And the bone folder you're going to find, also I'll be doing Wink of Stella. That fell by the wayside. Wink of Stella, which is on page 147 of the annual catalog. And that's a glitter pin that gives a little extra sparkle to wherever you brush it on. I don't know if you can see it here or not. Maybe a little. It's got some glitter. See, there you go. There's the glitter. And I'll also be using the gilded gems, which are on page 157 of the annual catalog. And I'll use, I just use one of those, these gilded. They're faceted, beautiful gems. And I use one of the medium-sized ones on the... Also, we'll be using a Stampin' Write marker, which is found with the inks and the papers and the Stampin' Write in crumb cake. And the Stampin' Write marker looks like this, and it matches the ink that we will be using, crumb cake. Also, I'm going to be using Very Vanilla cardstock. I'm going to be using the thick vanilla, Very Vanilla for the base, for the card base. And I will be using the regular Very Vanilla. And these can be found on our page 143 for the regular, and for the thick, it can be found in a different spot where you can order a 12 by 12 side. Well, that's Very Vanilla, but the thick cardstock Very Vanilla is on page 153. There's other ones you can order. It's all in here with the inks and the papers and the cardstock. I'm going to be using the Stamparatus foam mat because I will be using a photopolymer stamp, and this goes with the Stamparatus. We had another what we called a piercing mat that's a thick mat, but this is the pretty much the replacement mat for using photopolymer stamps. And it's a foam mat on page 164. I will be also using the paper trimmer, which we can find on page, maybe I didn't write that one down, but page, the Stamparatus foam mat is here. And the trimmer is in here, page 151. Sorry, I lost all my little tabs here. My catalog is tabs, so I already had tabs, but then I was trying to put some more so it would go smoothly. And this is the paper trimmer, $25, and it's on page 125. There's also the Simply Scored scoring tool, which is another scoring board. We are not going to use that. So I think that's mostly what we're going to use. The snips and all the things that that are that you need, that are your go-to, that you have to have things, are on And I knew this before I started, but now I can't find them. So the snips are on, and I'm not watching for comments. So if there's anybody giving me comments, I have no idea, because I haven't. Here's our snips, page 159, and I think I had that marked. I have the bone. We have the bone folder. We have. I will use the take your pick tool. It has a pokey end, and it has some adhesive, silicone-like adhesive, the paper snips as well. So we'll be using all of that. I think I've included it all, and I think we can get started. I also will be showing you the stamp, cut, and emboss machine, which is a brand new item with Stampin' Up. And it's the stamp, cut, and emboss machine. It's a big ticket item because it's something that'll take you forever and ever and ever, and it does a really good job. I really like it, and I'm happy that I got it. So that's on page 170 of the catalog. So if you go onto the website, you can do a PDF of the catalog and go through all those pages in case you made notes. I'm going to be using a scrap piece. I have a very vanilla envelope, and I did not give you where that comes from in the catalog, and I'm going to pass it up now. And I have our heavy cardstock, very vanilla, that's going to be the base, and I'm going to line it up here and crease it with the bone folder, and gives a perfect crease, perfection. I've already cut that. It's cut at 5.5 is the 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4.25. So now, why is it I know that? Like, I know the back of my hand, but when I'm trying to talk about it, it doesn't come as easy. And then I'm going to use a matte card that I'm going to cut, and my matte is, hold on, my matte is just a little smaller than this dimension of 5.5 by 4.25. I made my mat 5 3/8. And this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Now the card that I saw done was not done in it was done in the United Kingdom, I believe. So the mat's going to fit just like that. We'll be stamping on the mat. We'll also be stamping on the scratch piece, which I didn't have to bring another one. I already had one. So let's do our stamping. And the way I chose to stamp was to turn this long ways for me, and it was just easier for me to line it up. It was hard to do what I needed to do with the Stamparatus. That would be your normal way to go, but what happens is you can't, the way I wanted to stagger these, I couldn't do it with the Stamparatus. I probably could have, but it's not that hard to do. My pad might be really juicy. I need to check this out. Okay, that's good. Okay, and I want to bring my lines right up to the top hangers, right to the top of the card stock, and stamp, press and hold, lift. The second set, I'm going to stamp it 3 times on here, and I'm going to get rid of this piece of paper that's sliding underneath me. In fact, I'm going to tape it down so it doesn't slide. Okay, so the next one is going to be just a tad bit up, in line with just enough space to clear. And the third one will not go on the whole page. It will go off the page, but that's okay. I'm going to gauge it. Like so. It has to, I want it to be right at the edge of the page. I think I did it this way. Okay. Trying to make sure here. It might go off. Yes, one of them goes off, but all of it doesn't go off. So now while I have the stamp, have it out, we'll also do the inside of our card. I'm not going to layer on the inside. I'm just going to stamp. But this will be for our die cut, to cut the baubles out. So we'll let that dry. And then for our inner stamp, for the inside, we're going to stamp friends and family are the truest gifts of Christmas. And I'm going to stamp that right in the center, pretty much centered. And on, I meant to stamp first our sentiment on here, but we're fine. We have plenty of room to do it, because that was why I set my ornaments to go up a little. Peace on earth. Very simple, done here. And these are from the wrapped in Christmas, and they are cling stamps. They are a red rubber stamp. So now I'm going to, right away, I didn't talk about this, but this is my Stampin' Scrub, and this is my Stampin' Mist. That's also in the catalog, but this way I can clean my stamps off pretty quick like this and have them out of the way, because I won't use them again. And I don't think I'll use this one again, unless I've made a mistake. But I think we're done with stamping, except for our envelope. We will be stamping the envelope, and I'll do that. I'll do that right now, then we get that out of the way, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. So for the envelope, this stamp set has some really pretty items. It has the lines that you can use, which I'm going to use on the envelope to finish it off and make it nice. So let's do that here. Make sure we have the envelope. And I'm doing it just a tad bit down. There you go. And what did I do on here? I believe I stamped, I have everything I stamped. I stamped this like a hanging ornament. And then in finishing it, one of the ornaments that was die cut, and I had a few from where I worked, several of these, I place glue down an ornament that will go along with that. And then to finish off, I also stamp on the back of the envelope just a little visual to make it pretty, and it's a delicate stamp. And I could be shaking because, okay, that should do it. And let's see here, I think I can clean the stamps off. Clean them off. And now we'll die cut what we need. And I'll bring the stamp cut and emboss machine up for us to do that so you can see. I did get my magnetic plate, so I'm really excited about that. And let me close the ink pad. Okay. Now, let's turn it this way. It comes in the box without the handle on it. So you have to put the handle on, and it folds up like this. It's nice and kind of compact. And here's the handle. And it turns really nicely. So I'm going to be turning it. It's beautiful. It's got metal plates on it, and it's really pretty. So, okay, so might be loud. Sorry. All right. So, and this one, this time, this comes with, we've had other die machine before. This one is labeled. This is the first block, the first part of the sandwich and plate, and it's number 1. And the second one is for using our dies, number 2. And in this case, number 5 is the new magnetic plate. And it has magnet buttons in it so that when you place your die down, it will stay. And we're going to align this die so that we cut these little bubbles out. And they cut out really nice. They cut out almost perfect. And then I'm going to put plate number 3. If I didn't use the magnetic plate number 5, I would have a plate number 3 in its place, and then another plate number 3. And if I were doing the emboss folders, 3D folders, there's another plate for that. and depending on the thickness of the folder. So here we go. Here's what happens. Perfect. And if I can get my fingers around it to get the die up. That's what I was trying to do. Well, okay, the die's up, and here's all the baubles. They come out really nice. Perfect. Perfect. So I have some others cut out because we'll use, we know we're going to use two. I know I'm going to use two. And I'm going to put this away so that we don't have that cluttering our space. We'd never be able to work. Sorry. Okay. And I did, like I said, I had done quite a few. Last night I cut out these and I kind of sorted them so I'd know where they go. And what I'm using, you try to get a little, wait a minute, you try to get a little science about it. And this is where my take your pick tool comes in very handy. Because this goes over here and over here. There's a lot of those. And then these, not that they matter, but we will be using them. Some of these I had stamped on the backs. I mean, I had stamped wrong, and so I simply turned my cardstock over and restamped. So that's a blessing you have with cardstock. If you make a mistake, you stamp on one side and it's not quite right, something happens, flip it over and stamp it again. You get to have a do-over. Okay, so let's take this piece, and the way I did this was I cut my twine. Don't know where I put my twine. Sure I didn't do away with it because I knew I would need it. This was one piece for the hanger, for the string to hang, and we'll need two. So I will cut another piece the same length. And in this case, I used my Stamp and Seal Plus, and I did a little dab here, a little dab here, and then I eyeballed. After I had done it a few times, I was able to sort of eyeball where I needed to put it on the back side. Sometimes it wasn't quite right, but that's easy to fix. But I need to use my silicone mat. I forgot to bring that out. And then nothing sticks to that, so your glue and your adhesives don't stick to it and they come right off. So I just kind of anchored it down like so. Folded it over nice and taut. And maybe didn't have this in the right spot, quite in the right spot exactly. I didn't eyeball that too good. Okay, there we go. Hopefully I eyeballed the other one better. Oops. So here's what we do. We're gonna make move extra with our stamp. The Stamp and Seal Plus is really awesome stuff to use. I am finding that I really like it, and I've used a good bit of it. I like it. Well, I don't know why this is not sticking. I think it's my I've totally missed the... Okay, there you go. Let's put the other piece on and place it down. Give it a wrap around. And that stayed pretty well. I also placed a little bit of tape. It just made me feel better that when I was playing around with it, when I made my first card, I just felt that it would behoove me to do that, and I didn't have to really worry about it so much. So now I'm going to place dimensionals, because I know I'm going to elevate 4 of these little baubles. And as you can see, these here come underneath the cording, so they need to be accounted for. So I'm going to put dimensionals here and put down the biggest ones. And oh, guess you can't see me working, but that's okay. And as we take off the backing, and we're going to place it down perfectly on where it looks like it's hanging. And here's the other one. So if you do this, you'll have to do extra baubles, so you know you need 2 here. And then these need, I do a mini glue dot, and I've used all of my minis, but we have lots left on the paper, so, and they had to be pretty small. So I'm going to utilize, and I do it just a little to the side of, to the side of the string, so that, this didn't come off the sheet correctly. It's probably better that I, just to the little outer side of the string. Let's see. I never had any trouble doing this. And since I'm using a scrap piece, I want to get it positioned nicely. So let's put this one. And like I said, to the outer side. There's paper on the bottom. It's bringing the bottom paper off. Normally, if you peel a dimensional off of the page, like you saw me do, the other one, the bottom piece paper comes off. It stays with the page. And then there's another piece. There we go. Okay. Well, this is how it all works. And here we go. Oops. All right. Now, that's all for that part, and we're going to put a gem on it, and we're going to put 2 bows, and then we're going to glue it on. And I just chose to put 1 gem. I didn't want to do a whole lot. I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to just kind of color these in with the glitter. And I just did this part and this part just a little bit. I didn't want to go wild with it, and I wanted a tad of bling, but not too much bling. So now we're going to make a bow, a little bow, And like I said, this is really easy to make a bow. If you, and I can tell you one thing, as soon as I go back, my nails are going to be gone. I mean, I have let them grow out. They have gel on them, but I've let them grow out, and it's not my thingy here. Okay, so they just tend to get in the way to me. So here we go. And now we're going to use another glue item. It's our glue dots. It's our mini glue dots. And because this is such a small piece, we're going to I take this and roll it. And we're going to place it right on the back of this bow. Pull it off, and it's a tacky little thing. So it's going to go right on the top of that, and we'll make one more. We're almost done with the card. It was a few steps, and I got waylaid and sidetracked, and I probably started saying things. I've noticed I've been doing that when I've done my videos. I start to say something and I don't finish what I'm saying, and I think I get wrapped up in what I'm doing, and I just don't follow through. I hope that's what it is. If not, you may be seeing me on the dementia list, because that can be a sign. Not completing sentences. It's not completing, staying on task, basically. So here we go, and let's find this one and put it together. And I used just liquid adhesive. I believe that Donna Gray mounted hers with dimensionals, but I'm mailing, and I did not want any more depth to mail the cards. I wanted them to go easy and with as less weight as I can. Sometimes you need to put extra postage on your cards. Excuse me. If you do a lot of embellishments and what have you, and because you want it to get there nice, and you might have to pay extra for it not to be run through the machine. In other words, to be non-machinable. And I had a piece of paper earlier that I was using I don't have it anymore, to kind of reinforce this, so that I don't really touch it too much. Okay, so let me think. Is this it? Okay, this is not it, because we have all of these. When I did all of this punching, well, I had things left over. A lot of things left over I wanted to use. So I decided to use these Baubles. And just add them to the inside of my card. And I added that, and I added this, I believe. You can do, it's just however you want to really do it. I just kind of made them a little, and then these we never used any of, so I put one of these little ones on. I'm ready for glue, new liquid adhesive. Uh-oh, I have too much on that, more than likely. So what I'll do is put some of it on that, and it can be used. So that is how I finished off the inside of the card. You couldn't see any of that while I was doing it, but here's what I did. I took some of these extra Baubles and put them on the inside. Now, I'm going to put one on the envelope. And the key here is that you really need to make sure it's down good, that you go to the edges, but that it doesn't bleed all over around the outer edges, but that you want to have enough glue, because you don't want it to lift if it got run through the postage machine or what have you. You don't want it to lift up, so you definitely need it to and I left the glue open too long, maybe. I'm at the end of this tube, that's the problem. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to put a new tube out for my use. Okay, so that is it in a nutshell. Here's a beautiful envelope to go with it. A little bit of trim on the back. And instead of making it a gold emboss with gold emboss powder and putting a lot of that type of bling and the embossing, I think that the crumb cake gives it that goldish look, and done on the very vanilla. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll give me some likes. And I didn't, really know what I was doing for the most part, trying to do a live. I've done lives to myself only and played them back. And if I thought that they were okay, I've shared them on my page. But this time was my first real live, and I don't think I had a person watching, but that's okay. Thank you very much. We're about to have some more rain right now. We had it all day long. Bye-bye.